Hey everyone, Mike Slifer here in the First Alert Forecast Center. As you know, today is a First Alert weather day. I have my phone handy right here just in case there are any more alerts issued through the free First Alert weather app while we're doing this live stream. So thanks for joining us here on WFSB Plus. This is another First Alert weather extra. As you heard from Scott Haney and Jill Gilardi earlier today, plus Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon and myself through the evening hours, we've been tracking various storms. We did have some severe weather earlier today. We also just received word of a flash flood warning in Lower Fairfield County. We'll show you that in just a second. We want to remind you that the flood watch does go until 2 o'clock in the morning, so there's still some time here that we'll be watching. And we've actually seen more development here, especially in the southwestern portion of the state over the last, we'll say 30 minutes or so, really the last hour or so. First Alert Live radar looping over the last 30 minutes. We'll begin with the storm that is about to move out of the state. So right along the Massachusetts and Connecticut border, we've been tracking storm, and this is currently moving through Woodstock and Thompson. Some lightning associated with this, certainly some torrential rainfall. It did cross over 84. Now it's crossing over 395. This will keep heading to the east and eventually make its way into Rhode Island. But as it stands right now, bringing some very heavy rain to the quiet corner, or at least parts of the quiet corner. But we're also keeping a close eye on what's going on in southwestern Connecticut. Certainly plenty to track here. We're looking at some downpours that are moving into Stratford right now, into Trumbull, through the lower Naugatuck Valley here soon, crossing over parts of Route 8, certainly impacting travel on 95, the Merritt, the Wilbur Cross. And out ahead of that, we have some lighter showers that are moving through Hamden, North Branford into Guilford, approaching Killingworth, likely holding together into Deep River too. But it's this here that we're really focused on. That flashing blue box, a flash flood warning. So that goes from roughly Norwalk down through Greenwich along the 95 corridor in Fairfield County. Some very heavy rain here, already a ½ inch to an inch and a half, with another inch to 2 inches possible as this storm moves through. And we've been watching development on the north end of that. So some heavy rain moving into New Canaan right now and into Wilton. And we'll be tracking this as it continues moving to the east and northeast, and this will certainly have impacts on parts of the state. We also want to let you know of the downpours right now in Waterbury, in Bridgewater, and in Sherman, crossing over Candlewood. So there's still a lot of activity out there, and we'll be watching it as it makes its way through Connecticut. On the loop here, satellite and radar loop over the last 6 hours, we had some isolated storms out there earlier, some downpours. Again, that severe warm storm that moved through parts of Litchfield County into Hartford County. With that, there was unfortunately some damage reported in Bantam. We also had some trees down in Kent earlier today, and that actually ended up closing parts of Route 7. So it has been a fairly active weather day, and it's not done just yet. We just heard in from the National Weather Service that storm that we were looking at that's in Fairfield County moving into New Haven County is producing wind gusts to 40 miles per hour. And it's moving to the northeast at 25 miles per hour. So this is going to impact Bridgeport, Stamford, Norwalk, Milford, Shelton, New Canaan, Newtown, Fairfield, Stratford, Trumbull, Westport, Ridgefield, Darien, Monroe, and Wilton. So again, gusts to 40 miles per hour. Not quite too severe limits, but certainly going to be a bit gusty as it blows through. We'll show you the zoomed out view here. There is still some development in parts of Pennsylvania. We have some development along, again, the Connecticut-Massachusetts border, some of that favoring the Massachusetts side, and we'll be watching those thunderstorms moving through Fairfield County into other parts of Connecticut. And First Alert Futurecast shows them lifting north, impacting other parts of the state within the next hour or so. So be sure to join us on the Wax at 10 o'clock. We'll be tracking those live, and you can join Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon at 11 on Channel 3. But after that, we do see some improvement, and we're expecting things to wind down. Temperatures today made it back into the 90s for many towns, and if you didn't hit 90, you were close. 86 in Groton was the cool spot, 88 in Waterbury, 88 in Norwich, 89 in Putnam today, 94 in Bridgeport, 1 degree shy of the record, 91 in Windsor Locks, meaning our Hartford area tally for 90-degree days is up to 3 for July and 10 for 2025. So we're certainly watching that tally climb. And when we get to the First Alert 7-day forecast, you'll note that we will continue to watch that tally climb. Temperatures right now still in the upper 70s and lower 80s across the state. Dew points still in the 70s. It is oppressively humid outside. Really not much relief on the way, even as this front rolls through. We'll tell you why in just a second. But we want to give you some a tour of some of our iCams, if you will. Here's a live look at our iCam in Hartford right now, 82 degrees. We are looking to the east over the Connecticut River. There's I-84, and it looks like traffic's flowing pretty nicely on the Bulkley Bridge right now. We'll take you live to our iCam in Waterbury, where the roads are now wet, down to 79 thanks to some rain-cooled air that's moving in, and there is more on the way. Here's a live look at our iCam in Rocky Hill. We are looking on this camera to the south, and in the distance we were able to see a little bit of lightning. We'll see if we can see any more. Looks like maybe things have stopped for the time being. But we're looking to the south-southwest. Certainly a lot of cloud cover out there. Live look at our iCam in Middletown right now, over Main Street there, over downtown. Pretty quiet and dry for now. And we'll finish with our iCam view right now in New Haven. We see more in the way of cloud cover, 83 degrees in the Elm City, and a live look at our iCam in New London. The ferry loading docks are dry, and it looks like things will stay perhaps dry for at least a little while longer along the shoreline. So we run the risk of storms, as we mentioned, for the next couple or few hours, and then we'll start to see things wind down. A warm night on the way, upper 60s, low 70s, mostly cloudy skies, bit of patchy fog possible tomorrow morning. Doesn't appear to be too impactful, but your first alert that there could be some localized areas of reduced visibility on the roadways as you get ready to begin the day. If you have an early tea time or a late tea time, looks like things are actually pretty good tomorrow. A bit of relief on the way with the active pattern that we've seen. We could see some isolated showers still, but most towns, many towns at least, looking at a drier day overall, certainly. We'll take it town by town for highs. 84 in Kent and Sharon, 84 in Thomaston and Litchfield, 86 in Bristol and Canton and Southington, 88 New Britain, Glastonbury, 88 in Suffield, 87 Ellington, 84 Stafford, 83 in Storrs, 83 in Danielson. Salem coming in at 86 tomorrow, 82 in Uncasville. We're forecasting 87 in Portland, 86 in Haddam, 87 in Wallingford, 86 in Brantford, 86 in Ansonia, and 85 in Milford, with temperatures in the mid and upper 80s throughout Fairfield County. That does mean good news for the fireworks display that's planned in Vernon tomorrow. 9:15 is when those go off. It'll be a bit muggy out there. Temperatures going from, say, near 80 to the upper 70s and eventually the mid-70s. But as we mentioned, we still could see an isolated shower. And the reason why is because this boundary that's moving through right now becomes somewhat stationary. And with that boundary in the vicinity, we still run the risk of perhaps some isolated activity. But that's all it would be, is very isolated shower activity. Late Wednesday into Thursday, as an area of low pressure moves along that boundary, we see an increasing risk for rain. As we see it right now, rain and storms are more likely on Thursday. This particular run of Futurecast favoring perhaps earlier parts of the day, and then maybe things will start to taper. We'll be watching that very closely because even with that stationary boundary nearby, we still could see some development later in the day. And depending on the timing of that low, that could also impact when we see the wetter weather. Our day planner here for Thursday showing highs between 75 and 80 degrees. And that's what we are forecasting. We're expecting it to still be muggy out there. Even on Friday, muggy, mostly cloudy. We're going optimistically dry, staying muggy on Saturday and Sunday. At this point in time, also optimistically dry for the weekend. Partly sunny skies, though. So an improvement over what we're expecting on Friday. Shoreline highs going from 86 tomorrow to 77 on Thursday, 80 on Friday, into the lower 80s through the weekend. Monday next week, the humidity ramps back up, and that could allow for some more storms. So your first alert to perhaps more active weather, and your first alert to hotter weather. By Tuesday, we're forecasting temperatures to be back between 85 and 90 degrees, staying muggy. So it'll feel just a little bit hotter out there. So far this July, we have had 2 days where the temperatures were running a bit below average. On Friday the 4th, we were 81 degrees. On Saturday the 5th, 84. But we were back up to 91. Sunday, 88 yesterday, 91 today. And we are forecasting temperatures tomorrow to be back in the mid and upper 80s. When it comes to measurable rain specifically for the Hartford area, we are still running a little bit of a surplus this far into the month, with the bulk of that rain having fallen on the 1st and the 3rd. So this sort of hit and miss nature of the storms today, not bringing any rain specifically to the Hartford area, as in Bradley International, where the Hartford area records are kept, Hartford Brainerd did end up with over 1/10 of an inch of rain. An impressive stat from earlier today that we heard from our neighboring state, TF Green in Providence, the airport in Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island, recorded 9/10 of an inch of rain, just over 9/10 of an inch of rain, 0.91 inches, in just 15 minutes. That is a rainfall rate of 3 to 4 inches per hour. Very impressive. So we'll be watching any of the downpours that develop. This tropical air mass tonight certainly favors some very heavy rainfall. The 6 to 10 day outlook for temps showing that things could stay above average as we get into the middle of the month. In 5 days, our average high temperature climbs to 86 for the Hartford area. And so when you think of above average warmth this time of year, well, you might think 90s. And it certainly looks like we'll be adding to that tally beginning Tuesday next week. That is our latest First Alert Weather Extra. We'll have much more coverage for you on this First Alert Weather Day coming up on the Wax at 10 and Eyewitness News at 11 tonight. Our next First Alert Weather Extra, streaming live on WFSB Plus, on YouTube, and on our app, is tomorrow morning at 8. Join Jill Gilardi then, and we, of course, are looking ahead to Thursday, our next chance for more active weather, but maybe we'll string together 2 dry weekends in a row. Thanks for joining us. Hope you all had a great day, and you join us over on the Wax in 20.